Salam Israel. Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge started at 1 West, Harlem, New York, and is run today by Commanding General YAHANNA, the rank and the authority to be the nation's leader. To my brothers, turn the kingdom. Yahawa Shammai Latan Basham Yawashai to my sisters. All right. Whoever heard the parable about the prodigal son? You have heard it before? This? All right. What is it talking about?
I remember, sir. I remember, sir. Yes, I mean, I have a son, but disobedient father.
All right.
And then,
getting hot in here.
and then, by disobedient father,
A son who disobeys father.
Disobedient father, by disobedient father, go through some hard work that.
Right, he went wayward.
And then after that, come back to the father, forgiveness like the father.
He come back to his senses and then return to his father. In a nutshell, yeah. But that was a story told by Christ, which we call a parable. What was he talking about? This one is low. Christ spoke many parables. This was one of them. Well, guess what? Every parable I speak that Christ speaks to do with Israel and the Most High. Alright, that's a safe answer. Alright, go to Luke 15. Who is that parable prodigal son to be? Eleven. No, Luke chapter 15. We're reading from 11.
Luke chapter 15, verse 11. And he said, a certain man had 2 sons, verse 12. And the younger of them said to his father, Father, give me the portion of goods that falleth to me. And he divided unto them his living. Verse 13.
All right, so it says a father, a certain man, Christ speaking. Christ says, a certain man had 2 sons. And the younger of them said to the father, Father, give me the portion of goods that falleth to me, and he divided unto them his living. So the younger son said, why, Daddy, give me some portion of what you get. So if I pull out, take his portion and go his way. But the older son stayed. What do you remember?
Remember when the son comes in, the older son stayed and the other son he give him a portion of money and he go away with it and spend it off and come back. The father
Come back broke.
yeah, come back and the father I don't want to expect the father to be blessing and the father blessing.
All right. So the young, right, they divide, the father divide the living 13.
Another one, verse 13. And not many days after the younger son gathered all together and took his journey into a far country.
All right. Not many days after him split, he took him journey into a far country. And yeah.
Another one comes. And there wasted his substance in riotous living.
Right. So him start, you know, when Israel ready to go wayward, where Israel look? Love war, love it pork, love to be a bad man. What else? Love to be a Jake, man. Love to scam people. So he went on with riotous living, which means that it was not any, his lifestyle is not fit with the law. All right. So 14.
Verse 14. And when he had spent all, there arose a mighty famine in that land, and he began to be in want.
All right. So you see when the famine coming now, famine coming after him, bro. When the famine coming, verse 14. There arose a mighty famine in the land, and he began to be in want. 15.
Verse 15. And he went and joined himself to a citizen of that country, and he sent him into his field to feed swine.
All right, so meaning now that he spent, when he had his money now, he didn't have to join himself with a citizen anywhere because he had his money. But now he became broke. He has to now give himself in. When he said join himself here, and he's talking about now going into servitude. Because if I join myself to you and you send me to feed dogs. Yeah. You didn't make me one of your overseer of the house since I give your business. You make me to feed the hogs, to feed the swine, right? You have to go in the apron and feed them. Continue.
Verse 16. And he would fain have filled his belly with the husk that the swine did eat.
All right.
And no man gave unto him.
So, what was he eating?
Swine.
Was now eating hog food. He had to, because what? No man not eat nothing. Huh? Mm-hmm. All right. Nobody not give him anything. Basically eating hog food. Go on now. Tell me.
Verse 17. And when he came himself, he said, how many hired servants of my father's have
bread
enough and to spare, and I perish with hunger.
So my father have hired servants, and these hired servants are so filled that they can't even spare bread. And I am here eating hot food. So that's what you now start to contemplate. Why would I have dead hungry and how much servant my father have, and his father's servant can feed themselves and even feed others. All right, continue.
Verse 18. I will arise and go to my father and will say unto him, Father, I have sinned against heaven and before thee.
All right. And decides to boy, I'll go back home now, you know, I'll beg forgiveness. Continue.
And I'm no more worthy to be called thy son. Make me as one of thy hired servants.
Right. Because he was a hired servant when he joined himself to in the out there, but his job was to feed us, and hunger was killing him. So he said, all right, I'm going back to my father, and you know, I'm not to call me son. I am here as a servant, because trust me, my father's servants are well paid. So even that, I will go back to my father as a servant. Continue.
Verse 20. And he arose and came to his father. But when he was yet a great way off, his father saw him and had compassion and ran and fell on his neck and kissed him.
So this is what he decided to do in his heart. But once he was approaching and the father spotted him coming, he got a welcome that he didn't expect. The father came out to greet him and ran to him and hug him up and kiss him neck. Continue.
Verse 20. And the son said unto him, Father.
20, 21.
Verse 21. Yeah, verse 21. And the son said unto him, Father, I have sinned against heaven and in thy sight, and am no more worthy to be called thy son.
All right. So this is going to make sure him talk first, you know. All right, Daddy, I have sinned against you, and I'm no more worthy to be called a son. Continue.
Verse 22. But the father said unto his servant, Bring forth the best robe and put it on him, and put a ring on his hand and shoes on his feet.
But the father now sending servant and said, Go for the best robe, put a ring on his finger, and put shoes on his feet. So you know when we're going back home, derogatory, barefooted, old clothes, probably dirt on him skin to from them journey, huh? All right, now continue.
Verse 23. And bring hither the fatted calf and kill it, and let us eat and be merry.
All right, so let us have a celebration. Kill a cow. And let us have a goat, you know, so you know, it's a big feast. Kill a cow. 24.
Verse 25.
24.
Verse 24. For this my son was dead, and is alive again. He was lost, and is found. And they began to be merry.
Why say he was dead? Why the father, why Christ used put the story that way? This my son was dead and is alive again. Because obviously he wasn't dead. He's back. Yeah.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with like seeing that is a parable the future, right? I know say when they are seen, the relationship of sin, death.
No. No. You could have put it that way. You could have a son and you put it that way too. Yeah. Yeah. But you put up your hand so that you can think. No man, think first man, then you put up your hand. Yes.
Yes, sir. In this thing, something I want to now
Thank you. I'm not thinking that the son is but the son was dead to him because there was no connection. He didn't hear from him. He didn't hear anything about him. He knew nothing of the son. And just like somebody in your life, a relative or so, that you haven't heard from in ages, they are like what? Dead to you. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, then I remind that food is not after a bit, that's my year for more long.
All right. It's not like now where you have telephone to keep in touch, eh? Right. So Christ put it that way because this son, nothing was, you know, when the hospital and somebody and the machine, and then no signal from the son, from that son. All right, continue reading. When we explain what it is about, also why it was flatline.
Verse 25. Now his elder son was in the field, and as he came and drew nigh to the house, he heard music and dancing.
Right, so the elder son now hear what are going on and hey, music, dancing, merrymaking, what's happening? 26.
Verse 26. And he called one of the servants and asked what these things meant.
Hey, come here. What is happening here? So much people, so much music, so much singing, so much dancing. What's happening? What happened? Continue.
Verse 27. And he said unto him, thy brother is come.
So the servant said, your brother who? Continue.
And thy father had killed the fatted calf, because he had received him safe and sound.
Your brother come and your father kill a calf, boy. Celebration and go on. All right, let's see what the son is saying now.
Verse 28. And he was angry and would not go in. Therefore came his father out and entreated him.
So he said, oh, someone need a son and never keep music to me. You're not going nowhere now. I'm not going there. Jealousy setting in now, because I am here all long and I think kill a goat to me one day. I think give me a little party. But as this a little butterfoot one I return, you come and come kill calf. I ain't going nowhere. Alright, so what happened after that?
And he answered, and he answering said to his father, Lo, these many years do I serve thee, neither transgress I at any time thy commandment, and yet thou never gavest me a kiss.
Right. I've been here with you so long. I do everything you say. I never disobey you. And that is not good. You never kiss me. Not even that kid. Continue.
That I might make merry with my friends.
All right.
Verse 31.
30.
Verse 30. But as soon as this thy son was come, which has devoured thy living with harlot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know, that's Israel. Love the go buy the thing there. Yeah, you know, I will buy, we have to buy boxes, you know. That's the downfall of our men. Huh? A bag, that bag. Who's in a bag? Alright.
So I killed for him the fatted calf.
Right, so as this one I know as soon as the warring son come back, you kill calf, that fatted calf, a celebration and thing. 31.
Verse 31. And he said unto him, Son, thou art ever with me, and all that I have is thine. Verse 32.
Son, you're always here. Everything I have now is yours. But, continue.
Verse 32. It was me that we should make merry and be glad, For this thy brother was dead and is alive again, and was lost and is found.
All right. You buy every time everything have is here. If you want a goat, you could have go kill and leave it here and friend and a goat. But your brother was dead. Hmm? Your brother was dead to us. And he's alive again. What was he talking about now? Yeah.
Northern and southern kingdom.
All right. Talking about the northern and the southern kingdom of Israel, which became northern and southern when it split in whose time?
Solomon.
Right. So the one that went away is which one?
That is
Northern,
Northern.
which is the greater part of Israel, the 10.5 tribes, right? And who was left back in the land? Judah and Benjamin and part of Levi, right? We were in the land, Jerusalem. Now in Christ's time, what was happening is that when Christ was speaking about being engrafted and so on, he was talking about the northern kingdom. That we and Judah was in the land. And I said, them man you got a long time. You can't, no. We focus, the kingdom is for us, not them. That's what we were saying in Christ's time. And Christ said, no. Constantly Christ have to be struggling with them. You know what I'm saying? You have to bring them back. So they were using things like the laws, because you have to be a Jew, you have to be one. Circumcised on the 8th day. So how you would get them in? How would you do that? They weren't circumcised on the 8th day. The big man and them are circumcised. So Christ said, letting them know, you have to bring them back. You have to bring them back in the fold. So what are we saying today? Are we still saying that they can't come back? You know what the problem like now? Ever hear the story about the man who, as a matter of fact, it was of the Spanish town or pop inside, where the soldiers invaded a dance. And said, alright, all forgot join the line. And the bad man then come over here, sir. So a man come down like him in there in a bathroom or something, and he see this long line or so. So he said, I didn't look too long in a man. And so like, join on that line then, and going at the line. He ain't too sure, but he's going. Police saying, oh, so you're good, man. So they explained to him what it was about. He said, squeeze him back over there. That's retreat now, you know. Because we were saying, no, they're not on kingdom must not come in. But everybody out now, we out. And we said, oh, now we see what Christ was saying. Squeeze us into. Yeah, you grab we too. All right, go to 1 Kings 11. One, yeah. No, son, that has to do with dead. The song, so that song you're talking about, going not to do with the truth.
No, not the truth. I do the scripture.
No, to do with scripture. Them say when you run from preacher man, 6 man will carry back, so don't run. That's what that song I was talking about.
Which chapter again?
1 Kings 11. Reading from verse 1 to 13.
1 Kings chapter 11 verse 1. But King Solomon loved many strange women, together with the daughter of Pharaoh, women of the Moabites.
So, who was the Pharaoh? Who was Pharaoh's daughter at the time? They would have been Hamites. They were Hamites. Women of the Moabites would have, let's use it today's talking, they were Africans, Egyptian in particular,
Chinese,
women of the Moabite that would be,
Chinese,
Ammonites,
Japanese,
Edomites,
devil.
white, the devil, Zion, one of the African Amite tribe, and the Hittites, another African tribe, Amite tribe. So these were Hamites who were at power, or powerfulness, the Zidonians, the Hittites, powerful Africans at the time. So Solomon went and joined his kingdom with them, making, in his view, probably was trying to make peace, so he married them daughters. Right? So the Moabites, the Ammonites, and so these are powerful nations around him, married their daughters. But in you trying to befriend these nations, what happened? You destroy your own. You now begin to disobey your creator. God is you're not friend them, don't friend them that way. That's why you can't talk to them. You can't say, yeah, you're virgin or so. But don't marry them. Right. 2.
Verse 2. Of the nations concerning which the Lord said unto the children of Israel, ye shall not go into them, neither shall they come in unto you. For surely they will turn away your heart after their gods. Solomon clave unto me in love.
Right. So the very thing where the law said don't do, he fell in love with these women. 3, verse 3.
Verse 3. And he had 700 wives, princesses, and 300 concubines. And his wives turned away his heart.
And you have 700 foreign wives, and you one. How do you think they turn away his heart? When them get older. Now, you as a man getting older, you reach a certain age, you can hardly stand, and you will now reach the age where it's not you telling people what to do. People telling you what to do. Right. So that is when the wives start pushing their requests. But if he had only Israelite wives, they wouldn't be taking away his heart, telling him to build. So, the Ammonite wife and the Edomite wife and the Moabite wife is telling him, build a temple to my God. No? You have money. Look how long I've been serving you. You can build a temple to my God. So he build one. Maybe love. Let him love the Japanese a little more there. You know? So he build a temple to the Japanese. You know why it's going to stay now? Oh, so you build one temple to no I want to. The Chinese want to, I want a temple to. And the African say, no I want to my God too. So before you know it, under Solomon, all these other religions have temples in Jerusalem. They turning away his heart, Don't necessarily mean that he began worshiping all these gods. But he start build temple for the wives unto them, unto those gods. If it was him alone going there, the most I just take him out and say, all right, then you did everything is there. But he was now entreating the people because the people will follow the king, yes. They are already princesses from their nation. Right, so they have 4. And then build temple in your country for them. If they had such hearts, yeah, can be done that way. All right, so continue reading.
Verse 4. For it came to pass when Solomon was old,
Right, they have it.
that his wife stirred away his heart after other gods.
Right, they wait till him whole, man. Right, they must get all now. Like I said to you, you reach certain age, you need not you telling people what to do now, you know. People now telling you what to do. Continue.
And I was gone. And his heart was not perfect with the Lord his God, as was the heart of David, his father.
Right. No such thing happened to David because David married had 700 wives, all daughters of Israel. David did not seek to make peace with anybody around him and put them to his sword. Except for one, which the father, when he was in exile, David, when Saul wanted to kill him, there was one nation who put him up and hide him from Saul. And he remembered that. He didn't attack them. But that man died. And he sent, his son took over and David sent gifts and so to him. And the son with his men and so on, them like they took it as a mockery and shaped the men and said, where David take me from? I friend want come friend to kill it. So we're not supposed to be ball headed and shape. They shape them and they ball and beard and things. So when the news reach David now, David died. Let them to stay where they are until the ear grow back. And they can come back. Well, I don't remember if it was in the scripture that David made war with that man. But that proved now that he had no friends. Because he was showing that one some kindness because what his father did for him. But that one rejected. Other than that, he made the way clear for his son Solomon. But Solomon loved to dwell in the box. Yeah.
700 wives, see?
Mm-hmm.
And how much can to buy?
300.
300 can to buy.
1,001.
Only satisfy all of them. The good thing to imagine. But
All right. If you are a king, yeah, you want there are a lot of little things that you won't see in the Bible. Sex is for to become a king, married into this family for power.
okay. Okay.
Probably the marriage is just the honeymoon, and then maybe she not see you for a couple of years. No. It's still a wife, but I mean you have 1,000, so yeah. And we don't have any record of that, but it's not impossible.
No. It was that,
But guess what? In those times, most men didn't want a woman who wasn't a virgin. Yeah. The Arabs have that, they took that of our culture.
Yeah.
And we know, we love run down the box so everybody play up and spit up in. We nowadays love run down the box there. But back then, it was a different thing. A man of married, he want a virgin. Yeah. Alright, verse what we are.
Verse 5.
Alright.
Verse 5. For Solomon went after Astereth, the goddess of the Sidonians, and after Milcom, the abomination of the Ammonites.
Alright. That means he also followed his wives to these temples. Which means that Israel now seeing the king going there, they're going to follow. That's how kingdom run. You follow the king. Continue. Right.
Verse 6. And Solomon did evil in the sight of the Lord, and went not fully after the Lord. as did David his father. Verse 7. Then did Solomon build an high place for Chemosh, the abomination of Moab, in the hill that is before Jerusalem, and for Molech, the abomination of the children of Ammon.
So now build high place. So that is the temple that Solomon built that they refer to there now, huh?
Molech.
It's some different temple in build. Yeah. High place, that is go up in the hills to worship. You know, this how Rastaman tell us You know, this is what the Rasta they love tell about is to go up in the hills to worship. They don't even know what they're talking about. They don't know where it comes from. Yeah.
Most of the Eden nation and that them look like remote and also they want them walk
in the hills. Until now, the Chinese love going up in the hills to worship, and the Japanese. And don't even know it. Exactly. But they don't have to go now hills to worship the God of Israel. Continue reading.
Verse 8. And likewise did he for all his strange wives, which burn incense and sacrifice unto their God.
Alright, then Gil Temple say, all I'm strange wives went on. That became his downfall. 9 now.
Verse 9. And the Lord was angry with Solomon because his heart was turned from the Lord God of Israel, which had appeared unto him twice.
You know, Solomon was one of Christ's reincarnation. Did not. Oh. Yeah.
That it mean say appear unto him twice.
No. If you remember the story, Solomon, the Most High appeared unto him twice when he just became king.
Yeah.
One at the time he said he was in the temple praying, and then a voice said something to him, and him said, he had a conversation. But he said to the Most High that, you know, I'm asking him for wisdom. I'm just a ordinary man. Give me wisdom that I might lead these people that you have placed under my care. All right, the Most High said to him, ask what you want, and it shall be given. And he said, why am I asking wisdom enough? You give me all these people. I'm just a mere man. I need the knowledge, the wisdom to lead these people. The Most High said, since as you did not, the Most High look and say, you know, the most king would have asked for the enemies be put under their feet or for great riches also. Since as you didn't ask for these, I will give you the wisdom and I will give you these things that you did not ask. Double fold, tenfold. That's why under the king, under him, the kingdom became so wealthy. Because the Most High blessed Israel with riches, and the king didn't ask for it. The king asked for wisdom. It was Solomon. But as he got old, women took him. Yeah. And maybe I sound young when I can go married to, you know. God, I mean, the ones who might have passed, them who say just a wheelie passing. Anyway, don't let the imagination run wild. Verse what?
Verse 10 says.
Alright, verse 10.
Verse 10. And I've commanded him concerning these things, this thing, that he should not go after other gods, but he kept not that which the Lord commanded.
Right, for the Most High say, all these things I give you. Don't let your heart turn from me.
Verse 11. Wherefore the Lord said unto Solomon, for as much as this is done of thee, and thou hast not kept my command, my covenant, and my statutes, which I have commanded thee, I will surely rend the kingdom from thee, and will give it to thy servant.
So I'm going to take the kingdom from you, surely. And I'm going to give it to your servant. So that the royalty is going to give it to you. Give it to servant, to his servant. Continue.
Notwithstanding, verse 12, notwithstanding, in thy days I will not do it for David thy father's sake, but I will rend it out of the hand of thy son.
All right. Okay. But I won't let you live to see the kingdom split. I won't do it for you for the sake of David, because I made a promise to David. I'm not going to split the kingdom under your hand. I leave it to your son. Verse what that?
That was 12.
13 now.
Verse 13. Albeit I will not rend away all the kingdom, but will give one tribe to thy son for David my servant's sake, and for Jerusalem's sake, which I have chosen.
So the Most High gave Judah. Judah was the ruling tribe. King came from Judah. Tribe and give one tribe. So he gave the lion the wolf. He gave Benjamin to stay under Judah, and the next northern kingdom went wayward, because as soon as the kingdom split under King Solomon's son, and they stopped going to Jerusalem. But back to the prodigal son. What was it again? Luke 15. All right, so right here now was when, all right, when they say now, and not many days after, the young son gathered all together and took his journey into a far country. So after after the kingdom was split, what became of the northern kingdom?
They become, a specific word.
No, just not a specific word. What happened to them? They cut themselves off. Stop going to Jerusalem. You see, this is how power get to people, isn't it? You find yourself as a king. You know your lineage, that you are an Israelite. You know the covenant. You know all that. You know. But just to hold on to power, you reason within yourself and say, you know, if I let them go back, if I let these people continue going to Jerusalem for worship, pretty soon they're going to turn from my throne. So my throne has to have a religion. And they did, and they gave, and another kingdom went to what? Bear. Other kingdom went to Bear. Same God they were worshiping from the desert. Remember when they built the calf? Yeah, it's the same thing they did. The northern kingdom did. They went to Bear. But the far country that Christ was talking about now, because remember by the time Christ came, the northern kingdom wasn't even in the land. Remember? They were taken out by who? By the Assyrians. All right, go to 2 Kings now, 17, verse 6.
Second Kings chapter 17, verse 6. in the 9th year of Hoshea, the king of Assyria, took Samaria.
Right, so the other kingdom was no, they named it after the capital, Samaria. So it was out of Israel, and it was now known as Samaria. And then Judah, capital was Jerusalem. So, when they talk about Samaria and Jerusalem, so that's all. That you remember the story that Christ spoke about now, the parable again with the Good Samaritan, right? That have to do with the northern and southern kingdom as well, because the Samaritans were supposed to be the northern kingdom, but they came out the land. Few was there still who went back up. Few went back after Cyrus. Some was in the southern kingdom. So when Christ gave the parable about the Good Samaritan, what Christ was bringing out to them again, just like with the prodigal son. If you remember the Good Samaritan story, the Samaritan, the priest passed the man with three persons, like would be a scribe, a Pharisee, a priest, right? Parliament. So those three that passed the man, the wounded man on the road, was from the southern kingdom. But there came now a good Samaritan, picked the man up, took him to the inn, see that he was cared for and so on. So Christ's question now was, which of them did the Father's work? You in the kingdom, you not doing it. These northern kingdom who you are barring now, them doing more work than you, who is in the kingdom. That was what the Good Samaritan was about. So, right here now they tell you that the king of Assyria took Samaria, which was another kingdom. Go on.
And carried Israel away into Assyria, and placed them in Old Halak and in Abor, by the river of Ozan,
right, and in the cities of the Medes. Right. So you had the Medes and the Medes and who used to spot? Persians and the Medes. Right. So the northern kingdom was spread through Assyria. Assyria was a country that risen to power. And like I tell you before, every country that has ever rose to any prominence in the world had the Israelites as under their feet. Right. Egypt, Assyria, Babylon, Greece, Rome, Spain, England, America, you name it. The German for a short while, but they never have much Israelite under their feet. They never did much with the children. They ruled the world for about 40 years. Not even come up on a blip, if so long, or 20. That's the space between World War I and World War II. That Hitler ruled the world. But any country with prominence had us under their feet. Now, all right. Prodigal son. Yes. All right. So when where is it? took his journey into a far country, and there wasted his substance with riotous living. All right. When did they decide that when the Northern Kingdom would have decided that they were going in a far country? It wouldn't be the time when they were captives. Yes. Exactly. All right. When that would be, what was second Esdras? 13. Go to the Apocrypha. All right, give me some time to find that. Second Esdras 13. Reading from 39. All right, 39 to 45.
Second Ezra 13, verse 39, right?
Right, come.
And whereas thou sawest that he gathered another piece in the multitude unto him. Verse 40, those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoner out of their own land in the time of Hosea the king, whom Salmanassar the king of Assyria led away captive, and he carried them over the waters, and so came they into another land.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 41, but they took this counsel among themselves that they would.
By the time of Esdras, what had happened, prior to Esdras, when Cyrus granted liberty to all with Israel, all 12 tribes got liberty. The Northern Kingdom decided that they weren't going back to their country because by that time, the prophecy of Ezekiel was out. I think, yes, the prophecy of Ezekiel was out that the Most High would bring them back. So they said, we're not going back. We're going somewhere until the Most High is ready to bring us back. We're going somewhere away from all these people that we can now worship our God in peace and start doing the sacrifice and worship the one true God of Israel, right? Continue reading. Read 41. Hold on, you finish 40? Yeah, 41.
Verse 41. But they took this counsel among themselves that they would leave the multitude of the heathen and go forth into a further country where never mankind dwelt.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 42, that they might here keep their statutes, which they never kept in their own land.
All right. So now they say, why I turn a new page? Go somewhere away from these heathens so we can keep the laws. But what happened here? All right, before you tell me what happened here, continue reading.
Verse 43. And they entered into Euphrates by the narrow place of the river. Verse 44. For the Most High then shewed signs for them, and held till the flood, till they were passed up over. Verse 45. For through that country there was a great way to go, namely of a year and a half, and the same region is called
Arsaret. All right, so it took them a year and a half to sail to get to Arsaret. Now, Most I again bring back wisdom in these last days, so that Israel can. But before we track them, the Most I gave extras, the vision. Because they were wondering where they gone, you know. People were wondering. They became the lost 12, the lost tribes of Israel. That was the northern kingdom. They became that's how it first came about. Because they were on the earth and then the known earth. And then they're there. So they became known as the lost tribes of Israel. Until Columbus. Columbus now read this. They read this in because this by Columbus time they had the Bible. Old Testament, New Testament, and Apocrypha. So they read this. They were searching for the northern kingdom. That's how they end up around here. But they tell you that what? He was sailing to India. Damn lie. India was the known world then. Exactly. And India was trading with the rest of the known world at that time. They were the Elamites. But he was searching for these 12 tribes. Because guess what? They would have known that they're not dead. Because if 2 tribes left back in the land and they multiply so much, imagine how 10 multiply. So they're searching for free labor to build themselves. That's how they end up around here now. But they came here on the guise of what?
Searching for
gold and spices and spread Christianity. Well, they did those, but yeah.
They're saying that the slavery when transport from Africa, then stronger than the Indian and the Arawak over there, which is a lie, no?
Well, not so much a lie, because the northern tribes, what happened to them? They mixed with the Eden. Yeah, and other tribes, other nations. The northern kingdom mixed with the other nations. So by that time, they don't even have the same dark skin like us. Yeah.
I think that was probably part of it's they came together. Right, I'm trying to get something about council. Yeah, council among themselves. I think that was part of the plan to hide themselves also.
Oh, to mix themselves with no, it wouldn't be, because they said they took counsel among themselves that they would leave the multitude of the Eden. But who to tell? Probably some of the Edens went with them. Because they began to love the Eden more than the southern kingdom, even while they were in the land. That was why Assyria was able to take them out. Because they joined themselves to Assyria. Assyria rose to some prominence. They joined themselves to Assyria, established what you would say now diplomatic ties with Assyria. to the point where you bring them in your country and they would send diplomats to you and you would send diplomats to them. But their diplomats' reason for coming was what? To scout you out. However, if you know the story, it was the Southern Kingdom who, because the Northern and the Southern Kingdom was always at war, civil war, right? The Southern Kingdom befriended the Assyrians and engaged the Assyrians to take them out with them. Yeah. So we befriend the Assyrians to take them out because they are always fighting us. After the Assyrians took them out, they came back to take us out. And that was when the Mosai killed a couple thousand of them in our tent when they pitched around the tent around the Southern Kingdom. Killed a couple thousand of them in the tent one night and they fled. 2 men in a tent, 1 dead. Next one, every tent had a dead man in it. You know that story? Right. Every tent had a dead man in it. So that was what the Mosai used to ease them off the Southern Kingdom. Because they wanted to take out both kingdoms. All right. But we joining with them to take out the Northern Kingdom. They had an intention to take them out. They just want to ensure that we are on their side because they wouldn't want to go and take out the Northern Kingdom and then we come up and defend the Northern Kingdom against them. They wouldn't be able to manage, probably wouldn't be able to manage both. So they befriend us, the Southern Kingdom, and we entreat them to take out the Northern Kingdom. Probably we say, boy, trust me. Yes, man, go ahead, man, because they are like a pain in the wrong places unto us. Yeah.
We go with the Assyrian and then fight again.
The Northern Kingdom, no, we didn't go in battle, join them in battle. Because we cannot, we're not supposed to join another nation in battle. We fight on our own. That's how Israel works. So, by the time Christ came, the Southern Kingdom was so much against him that they said, no ingrafting. Can't bring them back. So, yes?
By that time, we are calling heathen.
Exactly. We were calling them Gentiles and heathens because they were, all right, just like it's here, where is it? This my son was dead, the last one. It was meet that we should make merry and be glad, for this thy brother was dead. Just like how we are dead now. We, the Southern Kingdom, join the other nations around here, but all 12 tribes is dead now. Save the few in the I.S.U.P.K that are awakening, and those who are aware of who we are, but they are not in the U.P.K because they have gotten our doctrine one way or another. It's only those persons now know who we are. However, don't be fooled, the Edens, the powerhouse of the Edens know, has always known. And they've always done their checks to see how much awake we are. Understand? Because they also know that when you are awake, it's never too pretty on their side.
Hence why they are confederate against us.
Hence why they are all together confederate against us. That we should not be awakened. But it's our duty to be awake. Alright, this part here now, what it says, blah, 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 blah. And this is talking about the other brother. He was angry and would not go in. Therefore came his father out to him and entreated. Right. Oh, all right. Like 24. Read 24.
Verse 24.
Mm-hmm.
Luke chapter 15, verse 24. For this my son was dead and is alive again.
So the alive again now is where Christ is now predicting the northern kingdom be awakened and coming back in the fold, being engrafted. Started happening in Christ's time. But what happened after the Roman invaded Jerusalem?
We got cut off also.
All Israel went into sleep, not just the northern kingdom. So none of us is now singing that we should not take them. Everybody want to get in. All 12 want to get in now. All right, so, right. Christ was talking about, do you read what, 24? And he called of his servant and he said unto him, thy brother is come and thy father to the prophet down. Now this merrymaking that will be made when all 12 tribes come in, what's that now? That's when the chariots come down to get you. Yeah, we'll be like special guests. Yeah, which other nation have their God that can come and get them? Tell me, I'm waiting.
Okay. So when the lady that say of Anunnaki walking around, if you can see it.
Yeah, and we were able to zero in and tell her to stop smoke weed. She was surprised that we know that it is weed herself. But she are Anunnaki. Yeah.
Okay. That's the way away. Tangerine.
Mm-hmm. Anu. Anu is what again? Yeah, because Israel is grasping for that thing to make us live again, just like Deuteronomy 28 says. We'll be groping in the dark, like the blind feel around.
So anything that we catch on
Yes, anything we catch, we're searching to see if this is where, because we know that we're supposed to have a powerful link somewhere.
Yeah.
But we keep on groping and say, these white men killing us off. This is not supposed to be us. Maybe we are Anunnakis. Maybe we are Muslims. Maybe we're supposed to be good Christians. Maybe we're supposed to be Rastafarian. That's groping in the dark, feeling for your identity. But your identity is just as you get it in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. You are the Israelites of the Bible. And the Bible is yours to do. No other nation can. All the other nation can do with it is try to interpret it and they read something and say, oh, this is what mankind should do. It's not what mankind should do. It's what you should do. Because the same Bible tells you that to him all other nation is like what? Spit. There's nothing in the mouth that you spit out that is of significance. Are you spit it out? Huh? Exactly. That's why I speak it out. It's disgusting. And that's how the Bible describes the other nations. No, the other nations, no, this is why in Revelation it tells you that the dragon opened his mouth in blasphemy against the Most High. All the things that the Most High, the character that the Most High showed himself to Israel in, they changed that. God is love. What happened to it? Okay. God is love. God is and God love everybody. When God say in love who? All right. And God, Rasta say, well, God don't run no wire fence. Meaning no part of some people from some. And what does the Bible say? He separated us unto himself. Right? Now those are the blasphemies that is going against the Most High. They say you are not the true Israelite. And those white people are blaspheme. Huh?
And so we don't live there. So most people say, oh, we believe Israelite and we don't live
I will not live by Israel. And so them smart, they name the land Israel. Yeah. The kingdom was bigger than that. Oh yeah, the northern and the southern. The part that they call Israel now is actually the southern kingdom. Them don't even know that. The land bigger than that. But the northern kingdom was kicked out quite somewhere. So this is how they blaspheme against the Most High in all different kind of ways, telling us the things that they want us to do basically. They want you to roll over and die. You must be a good Christian, don't you? Right. Which really Christianity is softening you. Yeah, when you baptize, you don't even roll the voice again as a man. Yeah, man, you whisper.
that's why the woman then take over.
And you don't even talk hard to the woman. You know? And you must not grow your ear. It's rebellious. All right. Yeah, I know. That's what they say. You know that law. I've been taught you must shave a beard. I've been put you in the same law telling that you must cut the corner off the beard. But when they bring that up, they say what? The laws are done away with, man. So what replaces the law if the law is done away? It's the pastor's opinion. Right, and baptism is just water. It's not as Christ put it, telling you that it is the putting away of the sins of the flesh. You understand? It's not the putting away of the sins of the flesh, it's just having a good conscience towards God. That's baptism. Is that right? So it's from Christ's time these things were in. You remember when we read it was last week? When we said when we did baptism, and it was, I think it was Paul who was chastising them, chastising Israel and saying, you know, you saying that baptism is not, it's just like the water baptism. It's not the putting away of the sins of the flesh. It's just having a good conscience towards God. But it's not so. Oh, you have a good conscience towards God.
Do whatever you feel when you feel.
All right, so that is why, you know, they can be homosexual and still in the church saying that they are doing God's work.
They do what they do and then just come and do.
And God never changed. They make it seem as if, you know, God just said, I'm fed up with them people. And, all right, do what you want. Me accept whatever you do. You know? Like, that would mean that in himself is not God. So if man can change God, then what kind of God is that? Exactly.
conform to them.
The only time God listens to man is when Israel speaks. Like the time of Moses when he was going to wipe out, get vexed and was going to wipe out everybody, and Moses made a sacrifice, stood in the way. He blocked him. He said, no, don't do it. You're going to look bad on it. They take them out of Israel, out of Egypt, and then you're going to look away, you know, you take them out and you can't raise them up, so you kill them off and raise up more. So nobody kill it.
Like you bring the wife of the Egyptian there, and then you bring them out and you wipe them out.
And you kill them all.
They come like that, like a troublemaker. And the virgin Moses explain things.
No, man, you can't do it. It will look bad into the world, man. The Moses say, all right, yeah, man. I'm not going to kill them all. But if this generation, they're not going in there. And he did wipe us out in the desert. Only Caleb and Joshua made it in. Ezekiel 37, 16 to 21.
Ezekiel 37, 16 to 17
21.
to 21. Concept. Verse 16. Moreover, thou son of man, take thee one stick and write upon it for Judah and for the children of Israel his companions.
All right, so take one stick and on that stick write for Judah and Judah
and for the children of Israel his companions.
All right, so this is Judah, Benjamin, half of Levi. Right, continue.
Then take another stick and write upon it.
Then take the next stick and write on it. For
Joseph, the stick of Ephraim, and for all the house of Israel, his companions.
So this one for Judah, Judah was the ruling tribe. And this one for Ephraim, for Joseph, more in particular Ephraim, because Ephraim was the ruling tribe of the southern kingdom. Continue.
Verse 17, and join them one to another into one stick.
And join them together into one stick. Continue.
And they shall become one in thine hand.
And that stick shall become one in your hand. Ephraim and Judah. Continue.
Verse 18, and when the children of thy people shall speak unto thee, saying, will thou not show us what thou meanest by thee? Saying unto them, thus saith the Lord God, behold, I will take the stick of Joseph,
Okay, the stick of Joseph,
which is in the hand of Ephraim.
Right, that's the rulership. Think of it as the king's scepter, right? Which is in the hand of Ephraim. And
the tribes of Israel his fellows.
Right. And will
Put them with him, even with the stick of Judah.
Judah.
And make them one stick.
One stick.
And they shall be one in mine hand.
And they shall be one in the hand of the Most High. Continue.
Verse 20. And the stick whereon thou writest shall be in thine hand before their eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And say unto them, Thus saith the Lord God, Behold, I will take the children of Israel from among the heathen, whither they be gone, and will gather them on every side, and bring them into their own land.
So this is speaking about what?
Bringing back together
The northern and the southern kingdom. This prophecy was from before Christ. So when Christ was speaking about the prodigal son, this was what he was talking about. This is his way of putting it. When he was speaking about the good Samaritan, that was his way of putting it. All right, read 22.
Verse 22. And I will make them one nation in the land upon the mountains of Israel.
Mm-hmm.
And one king shall be king to them all. And they shall be no more two nations, neither shall they be divided into two kingdoms anymore at all.
So this prophecy was before they went into Nazareth. Even when Christ came, it wasn't fulfilled. Because of the southern kingdom now has to be out now, so that all the engrafted in. Understand? And that king is, and one king over them shall be Yahweh Christ shall be king over the two nations becoming one. Now, if you notice, even now, you know, the Puerto Ricans and Northern Kingdom, many of them think they're white in the States, eh? Yeah, man. They think they're better than Judah, you know? Even though that was the spirit from in their own land. When the kingdom was split, that's why the Most High say will take away the what? Something from Ephraim and from Judah. Like the rift between them so that he can make them one. And trust me, Trump doing a good job at that. Yeah. Because the Hispanics have never been so loving to the black people in the States as they are now.
They believe they were Eden.
They believe they were white. And they were feather in the back, the tail in the back, as the old time people would say again, to do that in the States. Because of skin color. They think it's shade. And many of them are now coming into, but you know, remember when we had class up, so and we see when they just start come down, going up to the border. You remember they were marching from all about and coming up to the border. That time they had the cages in the Americans waiting on them. This was the Most High's hand, steering them up, putting them up. Send them now, come on, come. All of you one place. You know, they're driving a sheep. So many of them now, they came up as what? They came up as Catholics. But they come there and they start listening, they're hearing from the U.P.K. that they are Israelites. And they are not who they thought they were. And they're proving it to them in the Bible. Now, they have been cut off so long. You know, like when somebody would come to you and say, well, you know, say, so and so, your father, you know. Like, you don't know your father, right? And they come and say, you know, say, so and so, your father. And they can tell you about your father and they feel a connection and say, oh, that's why me come so and so on. Now, the northern kingdom have been cut off so long that they don't feel anything, they can't feel anything. Flatline. When you tell them that they're Israelite, they're like it is not like me and you who can feel Kawal, feeling the oppression and things. So when the most I let them feel it now, then they are feeling the connection. Because how you know the Israelite? By the oppression. Yes, man. So the most I giving them a feel now. Put them under the oppression. Put them under the white man whip. White man remove the mask. You know. The mask is being removed now. You see? Trump get a fourth here. A fourth next term. Lord of mercy. The whip will be out. It's coming out. Alright. So don't be surprised if Trump take the next election. Just know that, yeah, the Most High is at work. I mean, we should be happy if Trump wins. So now we're doing. So now we're not Trump supporters, but at least the mass will be out, and you will know who is cracking the whip. Prior to when the mask was on, you wonder who was cracking the whip. Police kill you on the kill blacks on the street, and you hear boy, you know, it's because he did so and so. You know the trend. Once you if you did something wrong from primary school and you come in your 60s and cops murder you, that coming out to them. Oh, a criminal long time now. That's I.S.U.P.K. So the most I exposing them. So now the Northern Kingdom can look and say, oh, so that we're getting a similar treatment. So we and these people are experiencing similar things. We have a lot in common. So now they are seeing it. They are beginning to see. Because now they're not able now because we went into the hard slavery while they were in their land. Not into hard slavery. So they did not have that connection. But they are feeling the whip another way now. And they're getting the connection. Oh, maybe I'm really an Israelite then. Right. And guess what? They used to live in the same community as the blacks in the States, but never used to deal much with them. Now they're becoming one now. They even help you, Hispanic. My daughter is up there, can pick her up from school. Oh, sure, I will. Carry them come. You going somewhere, you leave your child with me. And that's what's going on now, you know. Yeah, man, I'm watching one of the children and helping out each other, becoming friends with each other because of the white man cracking the whip. Yes.
Is it that mutual oppression teacher, brother would say?
Yeah, are you a kind of phrase now?
Yeah.
Mutual oppression teacher brotherhood. Are you a kind of now? I probably because that's what is happening. They're experiencing, even though the blacks oppression is police killing them in the street. The white, the same system locking them in cages, doing all kind of things to them. So they realize the oppression is mutual, as they would put it. All right, so a quick look at, so now you know who to fish. Those that are natives, the natives from this side, Arthur, and the blacks, and the Hispanics. They are still the natives after, but the natives in America, the blacks, the Hispanics. White man know how to oppress. All right. Dubai. Dubai was a desert, and they found oil, and the British teach them how to mine the oil. And Dubai is what they are today. Now, if they were Israelites, you know what would have happened? They would take that on because they think your brother Esau think that he should take what you have. We are the only people who want to take everything. You know. That's how you know that's what the most I cover. They are the ones who want to lose everything to us. Yeah, because what everything they had was ours. Europe, that was ours. The Moors who were they were Muslims, but they had a Jewish background, a Jew background. That's Europe, Ireland, everything around there. We work for it. All right. So the right is on the wall. And you know why they are killing you? Yeah. Why you think? You're coming back for what you have, and what you have belong is in their hands. So when you take it, what will they have? Not a darn thing. All right, they will have the chain that will put around their neck. Can give them that. All right, take me quick now through the parable of the sower. Matthew 13. Matthew 13.
Matthew chapter 13, verse
Hold on. 1.
Matthew chapter 13, verse 1. The same day when Jesus out of the house and sat by the seaside, and great multitudes were gathered together unto him, so that he went into a ship, and sat, and the whole multitude stood on the shore. And he spake many things unto them in parables, saying, Behold, O sower went forth to sow.
Behold, also.
Behold, a sower went forth to sow. And when he sowed, some seed fell by the wayside, and the fowls came and devoured them up.
Devoured them. Yeah.
Devoured them up.
Mm-hmm.
Some fell upon stony places where they had not much earth, and forthwith they sprung up, because they had no deepness of earth. And when the sun was up, they were scorched, and because they had no root, they withered away. And some fell upon thorns, and the thorns sprung up, and choked them. But others fell into good ground, and brought forth fruit, some an hundredfold, some sixtyfold, some thirtyfold. Who hath ears to hear, let him hear.
All right, so Christ now drop this parable. Because guess what now? Yeah, the prodigal son coming home, with the southern kingdom, but not all of them going to come and stay. That's why he dropped the parable. This is persons coming in the truth. And guess what? All these three that he mentioned, they came in the truth, They were in the truth. But not all still. All right, go down to 10.
Answer. Verse 10. And the disciples came and said unto him, Why speakest thou unto them in parables? He answered and said unto them, because it is given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, but to them it is not given.
All right. So when Christ was speaking out there, telling about the parable, I mean, you had who? You had the scribe, the Pharisee, the Sadducee, everybody, mixed multitude, eh? But the mystery of the kingdom of heaven is not for everybody. It's for the man who will endure in the truth. That's what he was trying to explain to his disciples. To you it is given to understand the mysteries, but to them it's not given. So I have to speak to them in part. Continue.
Verse 12. For whosoever asks to him shall be given, and he shall have more abundance. But whosoever asks not, from him shall be taken away, even that he asks. Therefore speak I to them in parables, because they see not, and hearing they hear not, neither do they understand.
All right. Because Christ is right there in front of them. Christ come. From the time of Isaiah and Ezekiel and all them long time prophets, it was prophesied that this man is going to come. They know the prophecy. They see him. They know it's him, but because they are lovers of themselves, they are going to lose the jets that they get. They are going to lose the big house. They are going to lose the big offering plate that they get, the tithes. So, rather than coming to this man who have no power, I will keep the power to myself. Even though I know the prophecy and the prophecy says him. And I recognize it's him. But no, sir, I can't give up this thing. Look on them big fish that I'm eating and them. All right, let's say they kept it clean. Got them big steak here and them big fish and them big food here. No. Give it up for what? That man can't do that. We lose our feet and know him around to. Yeah. But they didn't understand when Christ said, and even know the axis at the, was it John who said, even know the axis at the root, that the trees to be hewn down, or to be cut down. Because Christ knew that, you see them Romans there, them same one that you're friending, they're going to invade, come and invade. And see you same one, scribe, Pharisee and Sadducee, that's what they're going to haul your ass into slavery. You think they are your friends? Well, it's the same way now. White man building up a new kingdom. Now a new kingdom designed after this thing, Yeah. What call the new world. In which you want to order the new world. Take out because of what alright, you have a new way to order the world and they call it new world order. What is the old order of the world? You are the old order of the world, Israel ruling the world, that's the old order. So the new order is Isa ruling. So that is what he want to take you out the picture totally now. Because you already get your labor. Nothing more anything. I need some of you or some of us in the new kingdom. But you don't have to worry about that because there's so many. So we're going to take the power from those who have it. As a matter of fact, they don't even take the power from those who have it. Those who have the power now, they are going to hold the power and keep quiet until they set up everything that they have to set up. And then they are their ass into slavery. That's what's going on. That was what happened in Jerusalem. The Sadducees, the Pharisees kept quiet, maintained the status quo, get rid of Christ. Then the Romans came in fully, because the Romans were there before. But the Romans that were there before was more like, oh, you have some white people born in Jamaica, as opposed to some who come in, right? Those who born in Jamaica, them still link an old allegiance to
the queen.
not just the queen, but the white that are out. All right. Then the Roman soldiers came in. And what happened? The same man who friend them, bring them in. And you just all him ass into slavery. That's what happened to us in Jerusalem. All right. But so Christ know now that him setting and in Christ setting the new order. So he speak to them in parables. He speak to everybody in parables. And then he go back and he explain it to his disciples. So that his disciples would understand. But no one of them can understand, because why? Why don't want them to understand? You don't want them least then go understand and then come in and come change. Yeah. So what did Christ want? Christ wanted them to dead and go into slavery because they are wicked. Continue reading.
Verse 14. And in them is fulfilled the prophecy of
Isaiah, that is Isaiah.
Isaiah, which says, hearing ye shall hear, and shall not understand, and seeing ye shall see, and shall not perceive. For his features are his wax grows, and their ears are dull of hearing, and their eyes they have closed, lest at any time they should see with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and should understand with their heart, and should be converted, and I should heal them.
But I by those people in problem, them go understand, you know, and then go and hear, and then me know I've got to turn around and heal them. Man, they wicked man, they want dead man. That's how Christ did it. Christ was a warrior. But they show you that man in church, like, oh, he loves everybody.
I'm
like, Jesus, that even that, and these that he was talking about were Israelites, you know. Yeah. Oh. Oh, and the wife come and meet halfway and say, no, watch him here, man, because I don't know much. See the food there, little food there, so see the food there. Right. So Christ now says, the man, I don't want them to come and then me if you come to them. I want them to dead. But what? He wasn't the one who was killing them. They were going to die at their own ill will. Their own greed was going to kill them. They agreed to be with the Romans. Just like what is going to happen now. Continue reading.
Verse 16. But blessed are your eyes, for they see, and your ears, for they hear.
Right. So your eyes, at that time he was speaking to his disciples, so your eyes now see what is happening to your people. And your ears now hear what you must do when the Romans come in. Well, guess what? We are the descendants of those who believed in Christ. But being like a sheep without a shepherd, we went astray. The Most High just, yeah. Tell you what, I did say I was going to put you all in slavery, so like one of them wayward now, why not? The North Atlantic slave trade. Mm-mm. And that's what, trust me, that's why we must learn now. Don't play with God. Don't play with the Most High. That, you hear him say, only we know is punishment. Is we only we know. So after you come and your eyes open now and you seeing, you are now seeing, and hearing, you are now hearing. You think you don't understand what it means to be punished by the Most High. You see the ghetto that our people come up in. You see the hard time. You experience it. So why should you allow a little pistol tail preacher to come and tell you, say, oh, God love everybody. And everybody in a slavery. When the Most High says slavery for punishment, who went in? Us. Not one other nation. The African make sure that their people never come in this shit. Yeah. Not yes, sir. God love everybody. Are we alone now? Are we alone get the punishment? God love everybody, but he only hates Israel. I must look at their thinking. Continue reading.
Verse 17. For verily I say unto you, that many prophets and righteous men have desired to see those things which ye see, and have not seen them, and to hear those things which ye hear, and have not heard them.
Right, so many prophets before Christ, dream of being there with him when he comes. But they can't they couldn't live long enough to come. But you, my disciples, you hear, you experience, ain't it? That's what he's saying. Isn't it? All right. 18.
Verse 18. Hear ye therefore the parable of the sower.
So I am going to explain to you what I just spoke in the public. Wow.
Verse 19. And anyone hear the word of the kingdom and understand it not, then cometh the wicked one, and catcheth away that which was sown in his heart. This is he which received seed by the wayside.
All right. So I'm here the kingdom, and which is the wicked one that come and take it away that which is awesome. Not necessarily white man. Satan. Satan working through your friend who come and say, what I carry? When I give somebody a flyer and they look and they stand up and they look like they're looking into it, and then the friend come and, what is that read? I'm saying, I foolishness is a bridge. I'm not sure that. Yeah, and the friend dry away. I already say, I would, I got class, That class, when they had reached, we were going explicit. You can't break your promise to me, that. So that is the wicked one stealing away that which was the little that was sown in the earth. Or, you come in, come couple classes, and then some friend or something pull him away. Mm-hmm. And then you have another one now. Which one is the other one now?
Unto verse 20. But he that receives the seed into thorny places, the same is he that heareth the word, and anon with joy receiveth it.
This one, this man already tell us, you know that you are the Israelite? Christ died for you. You are the Israelite, you are supposed to serve the Most High. And he said, well, you know, say, long time I pray that thing, you know. Yeah, man, I truth you talking about here, brethren. Yeah, man. I saw it go for real, you know. Yes, man. Well, I said, now come with you, you know. But what happened to him now?
Verse 21. Yet art he not root in himself, but dureth for a while. For when tribulation or persecution arises because of the word,
all right, so in come and yes, man, in come couple classes and then one day do something now. And you rush him up. So, Virgin, we are going to camp so dirty. Come on, don't take this thing for. This boy thing this, put your shoes in your, put your pants in your boot, clean your boot. Or you rush him up for some other reason. As the tribulation now, you know, bringing on him. Whatever it is, that mistakes that he might have made, and he's now getting corrected for it, it becomes a tribulation to him. And as far as I'm concerned, I'm a big man. No man never come correct me and come tell them things that they want to tell me. Blah, 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 blah. But at the same time, if he live with a woman, you know, a woman tell him everything what to do, you know, and he don't have a problem, you know. Yeah, man. Yeah. The woman and you when him come around and puff up him chest and then go man and husband say, hello, hello, nine yeah. Come out, with that, man. Okay. Okay, honey. Him no bad boy road again, you know. But at the same time, he come in the truth and you must correct it. So him leave. Continue reading.
Verse 22. He also that received seed among the thorns is he that heareth the word, and the tear of the word, and the deceitfulness of riches choke the word, and he becometh unfruitful.
Alright, so this one now, I'm coming the truth, but my class is a clash with my work time, and you know, if we got camp on Saturday, I can't go make some money. I need to make some money, man. Yeah, and I need to be rich, and I can get rich, but I will stop from class. So in other words, now, all the cares in the world, why class time, but I forgot babysit. Never think of taking the baby to class, but anyway, I forgot babysit. Think of all the cares you have in the world. Those are what is preventing this one now from coming in. Why I may have to cook, you know. I may have to Saturday night I may have to go to my little hustle. So I can't go to camp. You know, so evening time when you have class, at that the time them really come make it. At that time my bar make some money, you know. You can't come to class, brethren. So on a Saturday when you say yeah, we have to go to camp. Why, that day them my jerk day, you know, make a bag of money them time, you know. We can't come. So all the cares of the world, all the things that would have been in his personal life now become an hindrance to him coming to class. To be in the truth. That's that man. Continue.
From verse 22. But he that receiveth seed into the good ground is he that heareth the word and understandeth it, which also beareth fruit, and bringeth forth some 100-fold, some 60, some 30.
Right. So you stay in the truth and you become an officer of this, of that, of that. Because you know have men under you. Understand? So this is the man who stays in the truth and grow. Don't let all them cares in the world become a problem to you and prevent you from being in the truth. That's the man who grows. All right, questions. Hmm?
Yeah, that's no question.
Think about it. I need to think when you find out the questions supposed to come up in your head if you have one to ask. Okay. All right, so if you have no questions, so basically, we know who the northern and southern kingdom were. And now we understand that, yeah, you might bring them in, but other things get them out. But to him that endureth unto the end, that's the one the most I going to, that's the one to him shall be given. It's not there, you can't look there, some people back there. To him that endureth the end, to him will the most I give the kingdom to. Meaning that one. How would the most I give the kingdom to you? Yes, but what do you mean by giving the kingdom to you? No, what do you mean? What do you mean when he said to him, he would, to you the kingdom will be given? How it will be given to you? Rulership. Not just to be in there as a citizen, enjoying the loveliness, but to have rulership. You make decisions. You judge. You rule over people. Some hundreds, some 50, some 30. But you are poor. You are prince in the kingdom. Alright? Well, on their part, what over crown. That's rulers. Right? Alright, so no questions, with that we pass the class for peace and officer. Back on one.
These are the I.S.U.P.K security announcements. We are the I.S.U.P.K out of 126th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding General YAHANNA. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. After 6 months, if a brother or a sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After this 6 month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Time which is a commandment. You can find it in Numbers chapter 18 verse 21 and Malachi chapter 3 verse 8 to 10. Means 10 in Hebrew and is pronounced Ma'aishara. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives, you give the Treasury Department or teacher, priest fund, free will offering for a priest, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like to give. Upcoming holy convocation. Memorial of blowing of the trumpet, first day of the seventh month, Thursday, September 17, 2020. This is found in Leviticus chapter 23, verse 24 to 25. Remind Akiam and Aki Watian to check on social media such as ISUPK.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for I.S.U.P.K events and materials. If a brother wants to be a trooper in his school, then he is to start wearing all black, which includes black boots, shirt, pants, headband, or scarf, with that we say a margin into stand. One courtesy salute to the teacher, a margin Shabbat, a margin, Barak, ya awa bashim ya washai barakatam. One courtesy salute to the sisters, a margin Shabbat, a margin, Barak, ya washamar ilatan basham ya washai. With that we say, ya jamata class dismissed.